Hello, I'm Rex Schaldhaus, and because things on the internet seem to lose their date references pretty easy, today is Monday, February 27, 2023. Several years ago, I got exposed to the Prusa i3 Mark III S 3D printer. I bought it as a kit. I put it together. Here's the instruction manual for it, the assembly manual, and I'm not a pro at this. I've generated quite a few items. Our printer has a lot of usage time on it, and we got things all over the place for it. So in learning how to operate this printer and the appropriate and the software that goes with it, been asked several questions, and one of them, it's an issue that came up because people were giving me the remnants of their rolls. You buy rolls of the filament, and there's quite a bit of filament on it, and they were getting near the end and they were getting afraid of running out of filament in the middle of a print. It's not a big deal. You can change the filament. You can run out of filament. I'm going to show you what happens and how the printer handles it, and I'm going to use one of Prusa's provided files to do that. I'm going to use Prusa whistle. So there's no fear of running out of filament at the end. I will show you in Prusa Slicer. It tells you approximately how much filament it thinks it's going to need, and then you just need to figure out if you've got that amount. But there's no fear in running out of filament in the middle of print. You just can't leave your printer alone. You need to stay near it, but it's going to let you know. It's I'm totally impressed by the Prusa printer and the Prusa Slicer software that goes with it. So I did try the MMU2S, the multi-filament 5-filament feed system, auto feed system. I had no luck with it. Other people have. They've said it was great, or it was okay. I had no luck with it, and I sent it back. Let's move on, and I'll show you what happens when you run out of filament. And it's easy. There's nothing to fear. Let's move on.
So I've opened up the Prusa Slicer. I'm dealing in version 2.5.0, but they're all pretty much the same. And I've imported the STL file for the whistle that comes as part of their sample kits. I'm going to come over here, and on this one here, I'm going to select brims. Brims is going to put an additional surface area around the object that you're going to print, and give it a little more traction to it. Over on the right side, you select what your quality is going to be, what filament you're going to use. Do you need supports? Not in this one. Don't want to put them there. What's your infills? If you're building something that is quote-unquote solid, it's not going to print it solid. It's going to put patterns into it, which is kind of cool. So we're going to leave it at 100%. I've got millimeters set down here so you can see what the size is. No big deal. I'm not going to change this. What I want to do is I'm going to change the color of this halfway through by cutting off the filament and letting it come to the end of the filament, and then show you how to change the filament and end up with a 2-color whistle using red and blue as we've done before. So I'm going to export this as G-code. Come on, export. I want to export. I'm going to save it off to my SD card and leave it with the default title. Now I'm going to take that card out, and I'm going to put it in my Prusa, however you want to pronounce it, printer, and we're going to go from there.
We're about 50% of the way through this print. What I'm going to do is cut the filament. and let it run out of filament. And we're gonna see what the printer does. Okay, it says press the knob to unload. It sticks some of the filament up. Pull it out. That's how much it stuck. Was it successful? Yes. Insert the new filament. I'm looking underneath. I see blue. I'm going to press yes. It did load properly. I'm going to hold that down. It got away from me again. Pull that away. Otherwise it ends up in your print. And now it is off and running with the new filament. So if you come to an end of filament while you're printing, it's not a big deal. You need to be near your printer when it does that, but it's off and running. And as you see, this has got the brim around it to increase its footprint, to increase its adhesion to the worksheet. It says it has 0 time remaining, 0 minutes remaining, so it's down into its final seconds. So we'll see how it comes out. We'll see what in Prusa Slicer, what adding berm did to it. It puts an additional little footprint, increase the adhesion, really important on small parts, and this is probably considered a small part. As I said, it's just my preference. I don't leave filament in my printer. When it does come to an end, the very first thing I'm going to do is unload the filament. And to do that, one of the options down here, press the button, scroll down to unload filament, hit unload, select PLA, and because it's hot, it pushed it out right away. Cut it at a 45 so I don't have to worry about it. Stick it through the little holes on the spool, and we're done. Let's see, go to info screen, hit OK, come down to calibration statistics. Our printer has run 4,594.31 minutes. Total print time is 140 days, 23 hours, and 55 minutes. So in 5 minutes it'll be 141 days, and we've owned it about 3 years. So that's about 8 hours a day. We use it a lot. Thanks for watching. As I said, there's no fear in running out of filament. You just need to be near the printer so you can reset it. The printer will hold heat while it's waiting for you to come in and do it. It doesn't get cold. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps.